Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your full moon in Capricorn reading. We're going to take a look at the energy that is popping off for you today for this full moon. There is a lot of other activity that is happening in the cosmos at the same time this full moon is playing out, so just be mindful of that. I do feel like it'll be a whirlwind of activity taking place just as a result of those planets. You can go back and listen to the collective reading for this full moon that does give additional information, as well as check the other readings for your sun, moon, and rising. So let's see what energies want to pop up from the Moonology. The answers you need are coming. This is the first card that pops out. A lot of blue energy right here. I see a lot of blue, the color. The answers you need are coming. That's a full moon in Gemini. And then we have the take time to breathe out. So I do feel the energy of needing to step back. The blue, I mean, I do see the blue and seeing the purple, and yes, I can see an indigo and a little bit in here as well. It's giving me that energy of needing to take time to kind of like maybe organize your thoughts, that sort of energy. I do feel like there's some sort of communication that needs to take place, and maybe you need time to take a step back to organize those thoughts before this conversation happens. Um, but I do feel something needs to be brought to light. When I'm feeling this so much blue, it definitely gives me throat chakra. So I am feeling, look, another thing, blue again, peace of mind. Yeah, I feel like there has to be a resolution. You know, it says the answers you need are coming. I do feel like there's something that needs resolution. I do feel like it's going to result as a through a conversation or some sort of communication in some way. But again, it's giving me that energy of really having to take a step back, go into meditation, take some time out, allow the maybe the intensity of the thoughts, the feelings, whatever this is, to just calm down a little bit before having this conversation. The faithful way is at the bottom of the deck, and look at, you see that person, it looks like they're the waves are crashing and there's fire all around them. So again, and I'm feeling like even with the sun right there, right? Get too close to the sun, you will get burned. That sort of energy is how I'm feeling. I just feel that right now there's something that's going on that or it could be, happening in the next few days, peaking at or taking, popping off at this full moon energy. But nonetheless, I do feel like it's a situation that needs to be, a conversation needs to be had about whatever this is, and I do feel like it's going to be important to step back, let some of these feelings calm down a little bit, do some processing, organize your thoughts, and that sort of thing before embarking on this conversation. Otherwise, it just feels to me like the whole thing will go right up in flames, right? End up being a hostile, aggressive energy, and that is really in tune with the energy that's happening, because at the same time we have this full moon, we have Mercury, the planet of communication, stationing to retrograde, and Mars, the planet of action and aggression, frustration, all them intense, powerful, and fiery energies, is getting ready to enter into the sign of Gemini, getting ready to come right up upon the planet Uranus, which is all about radical shifts and changes. And so I do feel like this reading right away is really tapped into a lot of the different planetary transits that are taking place. I'm here to do the full moon, but that's coming up. We have rejoice in love. I see this portal anointed with love as well. So I do feel like this conversation, this communicating, this having whatever this conversation is that takes place, I do feel peace on the other side of it. However, it's the portal through it that I feel is going to be a challenging aspect of it all, right? Like maybe you're a person who has a hard time saying how you feel, or speaking out what your needs are, or speaking up in general. It feels to me like this is something, and maybe when you do, it's like you wait to the point you get so frustrated and you pop right off, and I can relate to that. Right? Just saying, I know. Um, but I feel like you're approaching it differently this time, and that can feel very out of your comfort zone, and that's okay, right? Because we do have the nodes of fate. Those are switching signs as well. In the very near future, they're at 2 degrees right now, and they're going to be going, the north node will be going from Pisces into Aquarius, and the south node will be going from Virgo into Leo. So face the unexpected is the next card that showed up, and then blessed assurance. Yeah, I feel like something's coming up out of nowhere. I feel all of a sudden, and I don't know what reading I said this in, but I did. I said, sometimes we can push things on the back burner or overlook things or, suppress things and that sort of thing. And then when they show back up, and they will in the future, right, they feel more intense, right? They feel different. They don't feel like if you would have dealt with it then and there, you would have quashed that, right? I kind of feel like it's that sort of energy. And I feel like whatever's coming up, it's like now you have to deal with it, or the next time it comes up, it's going to be, like each time gets heavier and harder and more challenging. So I kind of feel like this is we're going to be dealing with this right here, right now, is the energy I'm feeling. So let's see what clarifying energies want to show up about this. The first card that shows up is the Page of Fire. So that is taking action. That is some sort of, I feel, quick moving energy. So I'm kind of getting the feeling that something comes to light unexpectedly and quite quickly. Then it goes from the Page of Fire to the Messenger of Earth. So this could be, something that affects, impacts, or has some effect at the very least in your physical realm, whatever that is, your money, your resources, things that you value, your home. It could be within the family. These are, not specific to any person, so they, can resonate in many different ways. Not everybody is going through the same thing. So yeah, I do feel like something is coming in quickly though, and it feels to me like it's something that's been put off or suppressed, or maybe a red flag that was ignored, and it's kind of like, okay, well, let me get your attention a little bit, like I just feel it's coming at you heavier than it did in the past, or as a result of kind of shoving it underneath the rug in the past. It's like, no, no, no. I'm getting your attention this time. Like it's almost like forcing your hand to look at it, deal with it, and that sort of thing. Wow, there's a devil card. That's temptation. Like, look at this. Ooh. Ah, bottom of the deck is the Page of Water. So I'm seeing a lot of pages out here. I kind of feel this is Page of Water is indicating an apology, or it feels fresh, new. It definitely feels like an apology to me. It kind of feels like somebody, I feel this temptation, like, I definitely feel there's an energy that did something or was tempted by something, whatever this is, and like I said, it can result in many different things. I see the heart right there, so for some people it's in regards to love, but I'm really drawn towards this harvest right here, this abundance, this sort of energy. And again, this can be you, this can be somebody who you're associated with, that's around you. Take what resonates, release what doesn't. But I feel like in the past there was a temptation. I kind of feel like it was either dismissed, overlooked, suppressed. Some people don't even look into it, right? They'd rather avoid seeing the truth because they're not going to like what the truth looks like, and then they're not going to like having to deal with that. And so that does happen. It does give me strong vibes like that with what I'm seeing right here. I do feel like when this is something that's going to come to light, I feel like, force someone's hand in dealing with the situation, regardless of how that pans out, right? I do feel someone wants to offer an apology about this, or is sorry about this, or maybe with whatever they did it from an immature place, space, that sort of thing. But nonetheless, I feel like there has been a damage that has been done. This temptation always, like, I don't know why I'm feeling it with this card, but I feel like it tainted something. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's hard to come back from that, right? It's giving me that energy of just like, I don't know. I'm not really liking the vibe of whatever that is, and I'm sure whoever I'm reading for, you're not going to either. Ten of Earth. So there's that. I kept feeling drawn to there. There's the Ten of Pentacles. Could have been for money. There's the transformation, a card. This is the end. There's the whatever. It. I feel like Ten of Earth can represent many different things. It can be for money. It could have been something that affected the family. It could have been something that affected, you know, some sort of long-term commitment as well. That sort of energy, your business, whatever this is. I feel like there was a temptation, and I feel like someone took a bite out of that apple. I'm seeing it as clear as day. Maybe out of greed, maybe out of selfish, whatever the reasoning was. I feel this is coming to light, and I feel like they're being forced to deal with the situation accordingly, right? I feel like there is a win on the other side of this if it is addressed properly and handled, right? That I do feel. And whatever way that is, whether this be recognizing a snake for who they are and, cutting that out of your life, or whether that be through changed behavior or whatever it may be. But I do feel on the other side of there is this portal of and I'm seeing it twice out here. So, but then again, it goes according to someone's free will, their choices, their decisions, and what they choose to do with this, right? But nonetheless, I feel like and typically when we have things like this happen in our life where the truth is forced upon us, whether we want it or not, right? Which I'm really not a big fan of, like suppressing the truth or pretending the truth isn't what the truth is, because the truth is the truth, and no matter what you do, it's always going to be the truth. And if you don't deal with it, you're just suppressing it. You're just like holding that energy for a later time, and at some point you'll have that tower that comes through where the universe is like, I'm done warning you, you didn't take the hint, let me just tear this shit right down to the ground, sorry about the swear word, and then ultimately do that, right? Force that change, that radical shift and change, force it upon you. I'm not really seeing the tower right now, but I kind of feel like it's like teetering, like I'm ready to come out. If you're not ready to do this work, if you're not ready to get real with reality, if you're not ready to see the truth, I'm ready to bring it to you whether you like it or not, is how I'm feeling. So the next card that shows up is the Eight of Waters. Yeah. And I kind of feel like the Eight of Waters always talks about walking away, like turning their back on things. And look at, if this is something to do with money, like if this was some sort of deception, betrayal, somebody was tempted to do something for this abundance that didn't rightfully belong to them, you can see as somebody who's going to move forward towards their ships coming in and receiving their abundance. You can see that. Two of Water is at the bottom of the deck. Something is happening. Something is being balanced out. I'm feeling. I do feel there's going to be a lot of feelings that are associated with this as well. I don't see a lot of water energy out here. I did see the Eight of Water. I did see the Two of Water, and I'm looking at the bottom of the deck after shuffling, and I see the Four of Water. The Four of Water can talk about a block too, right? It can also talk about rejecting something. And I feel like the rejection or the walking away from is a result of, I kind of feel somebody being tempted to do something. I feel like greedy because of the pentacles, right? I feel like they were tempted to, tap into someone's, or to, whatever this was, interfere with someone's job, interfere with someone's finances or resources, interfere with something in someone's physical realm, and I kind of feel they're getting caught. Like, that's just my vibe about this. I feel like someone's going to move forward. They are going to get that abundance that is rightfully theirs, and they're going to see. I don't see the Seven of Swords yet, but I do feel like, the thief or the, toxic energy Wow. Three of Earth. Ooh, bottom of the deck is the Five of Fire. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I kind of feel like this could have been like even more than one person involved because three talks about a collaboration. So I feel like there could have been a collaboration of some sort. I feel like this is, look at this, a betrayal. Ten of Swords, I said it. I felt the betrayal. I don't see the Tower, but I'm not going to be surprised. Maybe the Tower's not for you. Maybe you see this but the tower's coming to somebody, you know. There's the Ten of Swords. Like this is like giving me that vibe of somebody who didn't see. Like there was an innocent person who, the Five of Wands as well. If I feel like somebody was in competition. I feel like somebody was tempted to do something for a financial gain. That's straight up how I'm feeling this. Take what resonates. I think they collaborated or they were collaborating or there was some sort of collaboration to pull off this Ten of Swords. And now I feel like there's going to be a lot of conflict, challenges, and change that's taking place within that collaboration because someone has the strength to make a choice and a decision to move forward. And I feel take action, leaving someone out in the cold, but focusing their attention. Wow, yeah, like they're going to take action about this. They're going to do something about this. This isn't something that they're just going to say, oh, okay, you did that. Well, you're just cut out of my life. I kind of feel like there's going to be a little bit more than that. I kind of feel like these people are going to, this collaboration, those energies will be held accountable for what they did, and how the accountability comes down through all of that is to be determined, is how I'm feeling. Whew. All right, let's see, Sag. What an intense reading. Right? What did it? And it's interesting because I've seen the Leo energy. I know I pulled it out here with the Strength card. And your planet, your ruling planet, Jupiter, is getting ready to head into Leo right now. So that's very interesting to see that. But anyhow, this is what I'm seeing so far. I'm going to pull some messages from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck and you take what resonates, release what doesn't. This is just for some guidance through this energy and the intensity of this full moon. Let's see what energies we have. First card, intention. I'm telling you, someone had a toxic intention. Their intention was for self-serving, greed, selfishness, whatever it was. Gentleness is at the bottom of the deck. I kind of feel like this was against an innocent because when I see that white, I'm feeling purity. I'm feeling innocence. Like somebody, did something to somebody who was innocent, who was genuine, who was sincere, who was authentic. And it just feels like that bad intention is being balanced out. There's the centering card, bottom of the deck, and there's that expression. This reading started about a conversation, about some sort of communication. I'm seeing the Eight of Wands to the Two of Fire over here as well. So I think something's going to happen quite quickly and move forward very fast. And there's going to be some choices and decisions to be made. But nonetheless, with this centering card, I'm feeling like this is talking about balance being restored, things coming back into center. I'm kind of feeling focus instead of that centering, but yeah, somebody's going to have to take take a breath, take a time out, go within, get their heart and soul right, do something that I'm feeling like, in order to bring forth a positive. I mean, for some, it's like facing the reality and dealing with the situation. Protection is the next card that comes up. See that sword right there? Somebody is protected, but this truth is coming out and there is going to be a fresh start. Look at this. Bottom of the deck is divine timing. It's time. It's time that something, there has been, and I feel like it has happened in the past, like that temptation to do something, whoever that was that did that. I do feel like that's something that happened in the past, like I said, and then it's catching up to them. I know people think they can go and get away with stuff and then they never get held accountable or never comes to light, but that's not the reality. That is not the reality. What is done in the dark will always come to light and the truth will always win. So you, as an individual, like if you're on the right side of karma or on the wrong side of karma. But no, any which way we look at this, like karma don't miss a beat and it don't miss an address. There's love in the situation. There's, somebody is, I feel like moving forward with love. Like I feel there's whoever this innocent person is or this innocent energy is, that was unfortunately just, you know, caught up in some sort of toxic, I feel like unwillingly, involved in a toxic situation or bound to a situation or whatever this is. It just feels to me like there was an innocent energy that's associated with this that is getting justice, judgment, trust in the process in the bottom of the deck. Oh, enchantment to the shadow self to the innocent. Like there's a lot of things I feel when every time I see that enchantment, I just always feel like there's a lot of mystery, magic, unknown, like signs, synchronicities. I just feel like it's like very magical energy and a high vibrational in a way. I feel with this shadow, somebody's at a threshold, right? And the thing is, everybody has the opportunity to face that shadow, right? To look at that and own that and recognize that and take accountability for that, right? And that can bring you back to that fresh start, that fresh place, that new way forward. It's when there is this denial or not accepting or not doing the change or being the catalyst for the change when it comes into letting their shadow side take control, bind them to toxic situations, bad habits, all of that stuff. That's where it ultimately becomes an issue that will keep rising up over and over and over until it is confronted and dealt with. That's just how I'm feeling with this energy. This feels like a very intense energy portal right now for whoever this is for. Take what resonates, release what doesn't, and I send you an abundance of peace, love, and light. Have a great day.